Well, ugh, um, there's this one story that I've shared a few times over the past couple years, but it's definitely a story of magic for me. Um, so earlier in the episode, we talked about Enzo, my little dog, and I know people share a bond with their pets, and Enzo happens to be, he's 13. I've had him for 12 of those 13 years. And we share a bond that I've never experienced before with any other pet that I've grown up with. And there's this one story that I think back to um, that just really speaks to me. So I'm 6 years in remission from stage 4 cancer, just hit 6 years last month. And while I was going through the chemo process, I think I was just finishing my first round of chemo, and it was the time where, you know, my hair was starting to fall out, and I was incredibly sick, very weak. Um, and I would do outpatient therapy throughout the week. So I'd go and get chemo for a good 5 hours, and I'd come home, and it was just, ugh, it was awful, absolutely awful. But right around the end of my first round, I came home from uh, chemo, and I was so sick that I just could not, I couldn't move. I was just on the bathroom floor, and time just kind of slipped away from me. And I started to get dark out, and I was like, all right, I have two choices. I can either get up, walk to my bed, which is in Santa Fe. There's multiple levels in my home. So there's a step down from the bathroom, and then a step up to the living room, and then another step up to my bedroom. So I'm like, even though it doesn't sound like many stairs, I was having to hold onto the walls to move. So I'm like, all right, that option's out. So option B, I guess I can just stay here in the bathroom. And I pulled the bath mat down, and I covered my body with it. And um, Enzo, my little my little stray chupacabra little dog, um, is the queen of comfort. He loves to be comfortable. And so, he will gather pillows and blankets and make a nest, to be the most comfortable creature in this world. Um, but Enzo came into the bathroom, and he curled up next to me, and he stayed with me the entire night on the Saltillo tile bathroom floor. I was covered with a bath mat and a towel, and he stayed there with me through the whole night. And I just, sorry, hearing the story um, it just makes me feel like that bond that we shared was so incredible. Um, but that was definitely a moment that I will never forget. And leading up to my diagnosis, I never heard this before about how people's pets and dogs can often sense decay and death and sickness. And I remember his behavior being a little bit different with me. He was much more attentive. He would follow me around much more than he had in previous years because I think he sensed something. He knew when I was in pain, and I went through a year of excruciating pain before I knew what was going on. And I guess I never acknowledged his behavior changing until someone had shared that with me. But yeah, that's the first story that comes to mind when I think of magic.
Yeah,